Good day, everyone. My name is Ayooluwa G Ibiayo, and my professor's name is Professor Liu. Timeline, progress summary, and future plan. I got registered in the year 2020, November, as a PhD student, and thus far I have completed all my compulsory courses. And in the month of February 2022 till June, I conducted cell culture, compound screening, performed behavioral molecular experiments, and I also took all my compulsory courses as well. And then my future plan from this month, June to August, is to perform behavioral experiment for 80 transgenic mice and Huntington disease model mice, and also investigate in cellular models using herbal compounds as well. And then also I plan to take my qualifying exam in December this year. And then my working title is Role of Herbal Compounds in Neurodegenerative Disease Pathology. And Alzheimer's disease, it is characterized by neuroinflammation, synaptic dysfunction, and also autophagic dysfunction as well. And I'm interested in these herbal compounds, PU urinaria, ethanolic extract, PUE water extract, and also D-catenatum against A-beta cytotoxicity. So my aim is to investigate the role of herbal compounds of amyloid beta oligomer-induced inflammatory response, apoptosis, and autophagy in HA22 mouse hippocampal cell lines, and also to investigate the possible effects of herbal compounds on behavioral deficit, GABAergic expression, cognition, autophagy, and also inflammation in 3-HTD80 mice. So my preliminary investigation thus far on the HT22 hippocampal cell line, neuronal cells, are this. Now, the combined data for each compound cell viability was done by MTT assay for 24 hours. And as we can see here, for the PUW and PUE, it showed some cytotoxic effect at 40 microgram per mil and 200 for the PUW. And then for the PUE at the 200, the highest dose, it showed some cytotoxic effect. So for the DCW, we didn't see any cytotoxic effect at all after 24 hours. And then we went ahead to confirm with the ATP assay for the DCW. And then we discovered that as well, there was no cytotoxic effect as well after 24 hours of treatment using the cell titer glow 2.0 assay principle. And then we now decided to use two treatment model, the rescue model, and then the protective and preventive model for the DCW. And then we discovered that for both treatment models, there was no significant effect of DCW in protecting the cells against amyloid beta-induced neurotoxicity. So we then decided to adjust the dose to 5, 10, and 20, and we discovered that at this dose regimen, it showed preservation of neuronal cell viability and also protected the cells against amyloid beta-induced cytotoxicity and cell death in the cell line as well for the protective and preventive treatment model. So in the future, and currently now, I am probing, doing protein analysis by Western blotting, and then to check for these molecules in yellow. And I'm also going to check for the rest as well in the future. And then for the in vivo studies, I've checked for locomotor and memory function. So we checked in the 6-month-old and then the 6 and the 8-month-old mice, and then we followed this behavioral experimental protocol. And then we discovered that in the 6-month-old female mice and also in the 8-month-old female mice, the OFT test showed no difference. However, in the 8-month-old mice, we discovered that the distance that the 3-HTD mice moved was quite low when compared with the wild type. Also, their speed as well was low when compared with the wild type. This can be judged as a reason because in AD, it is a progressive degenerative disease. So it might be the reason why, as they are aging, that their distance, their speed is also being reduced as well. And we now move on to check for the contextual fear conditioning test, which is a fear memory test. And we discovered that in the 6-month-old mice, they both expressed elevated freezing response. And in the 8-month-old mice as well, they both expressed elevated freezing response. I think we speculate that this might be as a result of their low locomotor activity, the OFT test. That is why they also express this high freezing response. So there's no difference between the two groups. So when I decided to check for the GABAergic expression, we discovered that for the GABA A receptor molecule, it's downregulated in the hippocampus of the 6-month-old AD mice. And then we also checked for the inflammatory markers. There was no difference in the inflammatory markers that we checked. And also we checked for the synaptic markers as well. We also found out that in the hippocampus of a 6-month-old AD mice as against the wild type, there was no difference as well. And also in the autophagy markers, we also checked and we found out that there was no difference in the 6-month-old AD mice as compared with the wild type mice. So the future work now is to check other behavioral tests, check for the working memory via T-maze and then the spatial memory via Water maze tests. And then we will probe for these molecules as well, focusing on GABAergic molecule too. And then for future work for the Huntington disease model, I'm going to use, currently now I'm using the 3-nitrochloronic acid to induce as a model in SHS-Y5Y cells, and then to induce toxicity. And then I'm going to check for these molecules as well in the future. And then in the in vivo studies, which I'm going to begin in July, I'm going to be using 3-NPA to induce striatal damage and then check for these behavioral protocols, these behavioral tests as well in the mice model as compared with the untreated one. And then I'm going to take all this and check these molecules, and I'm going to check if CFA, that's one of the compounds, can protect the mice from the 3-NPA cytotoxicity, neurotoxicity effect. So these are my references. I want to thank you for listening. Thank you very much.